After 50 years in greyhound racing, David Pruhs has had many highs and, of course, inevitable lows. But does he still enjoy the sport that he has spent his entire life working in?
Yes, but not as much as I did. That is for certain. Then I think you'll find you may get that answer from a lot of people in greyhound racing. Possibly not some of the younger ones, because they don't know what I would consider the best years, but they may not think so. But yeah, I enjoy it. We have a moan and a groan, but I mean, I think if I didn't enjoy it, it would be the time to say, well, that's enough.
You give yourself plenty of breaks these days. You have a life for yourself in Cyprus as well, and you split your time between the two, but you don't miss out on your dog action when you're in Cyprus, do you?
No, not at all, not at all. I mean, we're quite fortunate on a Wednesday evening. We can watch it on RPG TV, and on a Friday and a Saturday, the paddock steward is kind enough to WhatsApp all of our races across to us. So basically, I probably get the result of the race before it gets to the PA system, and I can see, and it's great. So you can keep in touch with everything quite easily.
And in terms of the kennels running back here, it really is like a well-oiled machine here. You've got staff that you can absolutely rely on.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Sam and Laura and Graham, he comes in and does the nights. That's somebody who used to work for, he's retired now, he's 66 now, but he was with us for years and years prior to that. He keeps his eye on everything, and it just runs. Sam contacts me if there's anything at all that needs talking about, you know.
And so much so that when you are here, you're pretty much just telling people what to do, writing things on the boards, and they really do get on with it, don't they? Oh,
absolutely. I mean, we start early in the mornings, and everything is basically prepared for them. And Christine does the night. She lets out at night. So Sam and Laura basically got the middle of the day when, and it does work. It stood the test of time really, and you know it just works for everybody, I think.
Obviously, the sport has changed a lot in the 50 years you've been training, but you said in terms of actual training methods and what you do with the dogs, not a lot has changed.
No, not a lot at all. I mean, I suppose people would think that the feeding has got better, and it probably has, but by and large, the actual training of a greyhound, I don't think well, we certainly haven't altered too much in the 50 years anyway.
In terms of the feeding, I've never seen anybody feed like you do. I have to say, in all the kennels I've been to, you have all the different percentages of protein food, and then you mix them all together.
Yeah, but in slightly different ways. They don't all get the same amount of each one. You know, some get more, some get less of that. Depending on the dog, and depending on what I think the dog needs. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but that's how we do it, and it sort of works, so we continue to do that.
And you just mix that with meat. You said you used to give veg, but now
yeah. Well,
just
when we
meat.
had brown bread and that, like everybody in the old days, it was basically, you know, the staple diet for greyhound was probably meat, veg, and brown bread, and that was near enough the same for everybody. And then, of course, over a period of time, all-in-ones have come in, which are fine if you want to feed them. You know, your Australians and things like that. But that's how we do it, and we think it's right.
The dogs are well cared for. You said that every dog gets groomed every day, and even teeth cleaned about 4 times a week.
Yeah, if they'll allow you to. Most of them allow you to. Yeah, but that's even the retired. Some of the racing dogs, their teeth cleaned probably 6 times. You know, but I think it's important to keep them sort of things. Your teeth and that are important. I mean, I don't know, you're swallowing into your stomach. I think it's important that the teeth, and you know, and certainly for when they're retired. I mean, we all know that some of the retired dogs, the teeth are not quite what they probably should be. Sometimes there's a reason for that. I'll grant you that. But a lot of the time, you know, we've got those number of dogs here, and there's none of them that are not able to keep their teeth clean, you know, and I don't think there's too much of an excuse for not.
And in terms of the facilities here, it is just as you like it. You've got a massive field that the dogs get into every day where they can stretch their legs, and the smaller paddocks as well, of course, that are handy.
Yeah, well, the smaller paddocks are just for turning them out, and like in first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and we can get them out into the field. They've also got fairly big paddocks of their own anyway, you know, to run up and down. It seems to, you know, we've been here long enough, and it just seems to work for us.
You're always up there in the stats with one of the best, as one of the best graded trainers at Peterborough, but you've had some brilliant dogs here over the years. I want to touch on a few of them, of course, more recently, Laughing Gravy and Cougar Clamour.
Brilliant dogs, both Romford Public Cup winners, both won it on merit, you know, similar type of dogs, I suppose. Brilliant dogs, you know.
And then you've got a brilliant photo here that you've just shown me of Mission Trio.
Yeah, Mission Trio. He was some years back now. I can't quite remember any, but there was that photo of him running up the path at the parading path at Walthamstow. He won numerous opens all over the place, you know.
And then the dog you rate as the best you've had in your kennel?
Jasper's Boy, without question. Gave us so much fun reaching the final of the Derby lunch and everything like that, you know. Probably one run too many at Wimbledon. I think he got a little bit fed up with it. It was probably my fault. I gave him, I think it was 3 trial stakes prior to the Derby, and he won every one of them. He won every one of his heats up until the semi-final. He got short-headed where I think it's Greenfield Fly got disqualified for fighting, which made it a 5-dog final. But he wasn't quite the same dog in the final, you know. And whether he'd have beaten Tom's the best, I don't know. But he was certainly capable.
Training dogs is very much a way of life, and you're lucky in the sense that you have a partner who actually held her own licence when the two of you met at Peterborough, and now it works lovely.
Oh, it couldn't work better for me. Couldn't work better. I mean, everything's like clockwork, and Christine, you know, she does everything. Well, she does more than me.
You tell her what to do and she does it?
Not really, no. No, it doesn't quite work like that, but no. But it works brilliant. I mean, I think that's what you've got to have. You've got to have everything to work properly and everybody be happy.
When you lay on your sunbed in Cyprus and you look back on the last 50 years of your life, has it been a good life?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I've worked for myself. Nobody to answer to as such, but I mean, you'd all like to have won the Derby, you'd like to have done this and bits and pieces, but you can't have everything. I've had quite a lot, and I think it's great.